good fun. It's fun, right? Spring tripod, sprawl, rock up, squat, squat ladies, squat. It's a great experience, you know, it's a great honor for IMAS to facilitate the great message of our coaches. First Ukraine and next stop the rest of the world.
Я Нарапаха Ольга, бронзовий призер чемпіонату Європи.
Я Лукінська Вікторія, бронзовий призер чемпіонату світу по кадетам.
Я Оксана Ващук, я учасниця Олімпійських ігор у 2008 році, чемпіонка Європи, призерка світу.
Окей.
В принципі, весь семінар всі вправи.
Та всі такі, що-
вправи корисні, і всі вправи можна використовувати в своїх цілях надальше, в розминці, в якихось там.
Всі м'язи качаються, руки болять, сьогодні кріпатура зранку.
You know what? You're lucky you don't understand what they're speaking about.
What are they saying?
They say today his body fucked up. We never try do the same exercise. It's first time for us to do this in a complex. It's so difficult. It's like a medicine for our body, you know. Before matches, before our training, we need to start from this, and after we only can make much. That's it, you know, because after this exercise, your body feels soft and you feel relaxed, and you can make more moves than you can do without this exercises. Warm up, like this warm up for our body. We will use this exercise in our sports, in our training. Girls really like they say thank you for Jit, Coach Jit, who invite these guys week and will to our city in Ukraine. They come so big way, you know, to see us and help us. Thanks very much for them. I hope this will be big progress in our training.
The trip was good. The ladies are tough. They worked hard. It was a pleasure to introduce them to our new material, and I think they got a wake-up call. They're conditioned, but they're not safe. If that makes sense.
Good stuff yesterday. I think we really enjoyed the flow of it. It's good working with different groups, especially we had a chance to come to Ukraine. It's nice that insiders have actually come into the sports hall. We're probably the first foreigners to come inside Ukraine in Lviv in this sports hall and actually deliver something. Normally people come over here to learn, but we brought the learning material to them.
The two things are significant. Number one, I felt that despite the lack of advanced equipment, and they still rank very high international competition, and it shows immediately with what they warm up with, playing soccer, football, footy, whatever you want to refer to it as. They use play as a warm-up, and whenever you have any type of enjoyment, spirit mandates structure. So it's very enjoyable, it builds team camaraderie, and it's not conditioning to them. So that being said, and wrestlers are notorious for work ethic, so just constantly running with short endurance sprints within a small area of the sports hall is one of those things that inadvertently they're not aware of. That is a huge tipping point for them, which is why they're very successful in spite of the lack of equipment. So I give them a lot of credit whether they realize it or not. Bringing play back into conditioning and general physical conditioning is very huge, which is why most countries, in spite of all the supplements, advanced training equipment and technologies and coaching, they're not well cross-trained. You know, they don't pick up a game of basketball, they don't run around the block, they don't sprint upstairs, they barely walk in terms of a commute. They'll jump in their car, their SUV that's air conditioned, pop their protein shakes and things of that nature.
They don't even have fun. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's work for them basically. So I will say the Ukraine has taught me that and reaffirmed it more so. You know, in theory we know about that as coaches to make things fun, but it reaffirmed why there's such excellence here and why people come here to learn. On the other note, seeing these elite level athletes, and one of them brought up an excellent question in regards to, you know, if we're having difficulty with it, how does an average person do these drills? And what they don't realize is it's lifestyle, because they hunch and their posterior chain is very tight from bridging and from suplexing and preventing getting their head snapped. It's the equivalent of someone sitting at a desk for 8 to 12 hours, hunched at a computer in terms of general tonus, not in terms of short burst conditioning, but in terms of general kind of like molded posture. They're hunched, staring at a computer screen or looking at their iPhones and things of that nature. So their posterior chain is very tight. Huge imbalances. For as strong and as conditioned as they are, their glutes are nowhere near where they need to be. Their anterior tib dorsiflexion is very weak. Their lateral movement is very poor in terms of, again, and it's no not to their conditioning. They're superbly strong, extremely mentally tough, wonderful spirits. They're very young and love their sport, so that's also very refreshing to see. But the analogy I always use is, you know, they may claim that, hey, my butt muscle is strong, and yes, you know, your tires are very good for an average car like mine, but for a Ferrari, they're very poor and they'll run out very quickly for the amount of torque. And also the other thing, because wrestlers dominate on one side, they shoot on one side, it's the equivalent of a car lapping in one direction only. So you wear out the tire because you're constantly making a turn and left turn all the time. So it burns out, it prematurely burns out the tire just because you never make a right turn, or you never, you know, swerve to it. Right, and when you do, it's very imbalanced, because now you have this fresh tire on this side, but this worn out tire on the other side, which causes an imbalance. And that's really interesting to see that, and it was very foreign for them. As tough as, I'm sure, you know, these young ladies will constantly wrestle 5 hours a day, but just asking them to do, you know, 20 reps or 100 reps or something, they kept stopping and found every reason to stop, which shows how weak they are in those relative areas.
The proof is in the pudding, right? Like,
yeah.
There's a 17-year-old girl in there who's had 5 surgeries.
Correct.
5 surgeries because of imbalances on her body.
Right. Very willing, and within a month or two, she always gets injured. Correct.
Yeah.
So
because she's so tight, she's ready to snap. She's already an elastic band, pulled incredibly tight. All the imbalances. She's built for purpose. They all are. They're built for like a very specific purpose. And they've adopted their sport because they live it, breathe it.
Yeah.
They just are a wrestling unit.
Correct.
And because of that, when they do anything that isn't wrestling, like sitting down, like walking, like
human,
just some toe taps,
humanity,
just being human, they get hurt. It's crazy. They can do this. You know, you hear it time and again. You've got that friend of yours that can bench press your house. Where he bends over to pick up his 3-year-old daughter, blows his back out.
But I think, you know, Coach Vic makes a great point. Their performance, as well as they perform, it would be much. They're a Ferrari trying to accelerate with the handbrake on. If we pop the emergency brake, imagine how much greater not only will they perform, but how much better balance and how much less tension they'll carry. A lot of the girls related after the session that boom boom, very heavy down here. But I asked them how they were on top. Even you know, at dinner, the coach was like, "Oh, walking down the stairs, very tough." I said, "How's the top feeling?" It's very light. And I asked her, "Is it like an hourglass that we took all the sand, we inverted it and took all the sand from the top and let it shift down?" And I said, "It's very important because performance and groundedness and balance is all structured down." Calm down, what a down-to-earth person, what a grounded person. Anxiety, fear, and poor performance is all geared towards rising. Anger, losing your temper, stress, losing yourself. So that's what we did for them in terms of experiential learning. In terms of conceptual, I don't know how much we conveyed due to language barrier and things of that nature, but experientially, at least we conveyed that. And I think that was great.
I think the main thing that we conveyed that they really took it, which was fantastic, was they're incredibly efficient athletes. In terms of they're very relaxed when they wrestle, they're not tight at all. But their conditioning is incredibly tight.
Yeah.
You know, it's short, it's tight, it's non-sophisticated. So, and then it was a role reversal because our conditioning is the opposite, it's sophisticated. While our wrestling is obviously not as loose as theirs. They understand that conditioning supports skill. So if you condition in a particular way, it'll support your skill. And the new programs that we put them through today, the new flow fit, the
interflow,
hour flow, they can really feel how it's going to benefit them. So I think they're going to adopt it in their national team, right?
Brilliant.